Yeah, just to walk around. If I lay down, I'll just
Oh,
be tired.
yeah. You hear that? Woo! Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I am joined by Cubby Knoll, my friend James.
Yeah, hi.
We are, yeah, hi. We are Fantasy Sports Addicts. We can't help
Yep.
ourselves.
Nope.
Uh, we're talking fantasy baseball today. We haven't exactly moved on to fantasy football yet,
No.
but
Gotta wait till the bitter end.
yeah, I mean, well, we haven't stopped since the end of last. I mean, we've literally just been going. So
Yeah,
we're just
fantasy
doing
yeah,
fantasy
fantasy
baseball, I
baseball
guess.
has we had a brief break in December. And that was
Yeah,
about it.
I think we'll probably do that again this year. But anyways, we're going to be moving on to fantasy football at some point here pretty quick. But what we're talking about today is the
League
fantasy
news?
baseball trade deadline.
League news?
League news. There's news. News. Guys, we've got bad news. Ryan, our good friend Dirty Bird, has traded Max Scherzer.
That's newsworthy.
And it was quite a trade. Let's just talk about it for a second. Let's look at it. He traded Max Scherzer, Chris Taylor, Andrew McCutchen for Willie Adames, Byron Butskin, Kyle Tucker, and Carlos Rodon. And of fucking course, that's Nate in the corner
That's Nate in this.
in the spotlight, losing his religion.
Oh no, he trades too much.
Oh, you traded too much, Nate. Oh God.
He can't trade enough.
No, Nathan gearing up here. This is Fantasy Hall of Fame. This is the home league dynasty
Dynasty.
team. Fantasy Hall of Fame.
Squeaky
Formerly,
wheel gets the grease.
yeah, I was gonna
Or
say formerly Ryan's league. Now Ryan was, putting players on the block, and we were all talking to him. We were all obviously interested. I'm
mm-hmm.
currently in first. I would have pissed my pants probably to get a Max Scherzer.
Oh, in
Just
first place, sure. That's just like
well, can I?
pedal to the metal right there.
Yeah, can I just steal up a title? I mean, I'd love to, but
Yeah,
Nate in
and
fourth place, he's
yeah,
16 behind me.
which again, like you've got first, I think locked up. Doesn't matter. Nate's just get me in the playoffs, and now I have an ace in my back pocket.
Yeah, and that's so kudos to Nate in some regards, but also kudos to Ryan in some regards.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the trade at
Yeah, like
all.
Ryan got a good deal. Like I think that was probably a little bit more than maybe either of us would have offered. I,
Yeah, I mean, like I wasn't offering any major leaguers, so technically it was probably better than my offer. But I had some talent, young talent. I was backing the Brinks truck up as far as prospects go, at least the ones that I had.
well, and
I
that's
didn't have,
exactly the way Ryan described it.
I didn't have any tippy top, like a Vlad or a Tatis or any Eloy, anything like that. But I'm like Trammell, Lizardo, Justice Sheffield, so two of those players, the pitchers, will play quite a bit next year. And then, of course, Trammell is a top 20 prospect. So it's not like my prospect offer was light. I
No,
wound up pulling the offer before Ryan and Nate even got their deal settled.
yeah, and
But,
for context, well, I was gonna say just for
well,
context,
yeah, because I'm in seventh. I'm just 3 games back of playoffs, but I'm currently getting my ass handed to me in my current matchup. So it's like this doesn't feel like a move I should really just dump or mortgage my entire farm for because I'm not even sure if I'm going to be in the playoffs.
well, just
So
in case, and again, you won this league before,
yeah, last year
yeah. So I
I was a
mean,
mercenary.
but when you're not maybe
I'm not
winning,
guaranteed a playoff spot.
yeah, like you don't want to necessarily give up everything you've gotten in a dynasty league.
No, and
And for
it's not like
context,
no, yeah. If they were guys that were all 2020 type and like, oh, that's different. But again, like none of those prospects were were ranked below 27th. Lizardo and is like top 15. Like, I don't know. Like they're all like next year guys. So I'm like, all right, maybe I blow my load, get in the playoffs, and probably get beat. And then next year, probably would really want to have Luzardo, at least Luzardo back. I don't know about Justice. Who knows about him? Even though I do like him, but it just,
Yeah.
like it didn't seem like the move in my position to make. So I rescinded my offer, and so of course Nate never stops talking trade. So he pulled one off,
Yeah, he did. He
and
fired off some
good for
numbers.
him.
Now we've got he's made in this particular league, let's just for context, Ryan's in 10th place right now. This is formerly his league, Fantasy Hall of Fame. He is, obviously on the outside looking in. And
Let's just talk about what he got in return. Then we'll go
well,
back to Nate. Let's just talk about both sides, what they got.
okay. Okay.
Let's start with what Ryan's return for Scherzer. McCutchen, Chris Taylor. Okay. What
Yeah.
did he get back for
He
Scherzer?
got rid of like basically a bucket of boat trash there with like McCutchen and Taylor. Like, but moving basically according to Yahoo, the number 6 ranked player in fantasy. Scherzer's got 15 wins, 228 ERA, 0.90 WHIP, 216 strike. I mean, who
Yeah, he's
Mac.
one of the few true aces in the game.
Yeah, and
There's
this
only
guy's
like 3 or 4 of them.
yeah, and he can go a million innings. But he's got Willie Adames, who is currently basically sucking ass.
He is. He's a young prospect.
There's a power speed combo there, though. There's some
He is.
upside.
There's a little upside, but he just strikes me as a guy that has no like outstanding tool, like one of those classic. Oh, he'll contribute across the board a little bit, but nothing to wet your pants about. Like
Well, I mean, we have to
at least in my opinion.
not right now. I mean, we have to think about like
No, I'm talking down the road. Like
length
even
of time. Yeah.
projecting forward, I don't project him much more than a solid contributor, everyday shortstop. I don't see like consistent all star or anything like that in his future. Maybe I'm
But
wrong, but I just don't see it.
but I was gonna say, replacing Chris Taylor, you got like a nice potential
Yeah.
middle
I mean,
infield
yeah,
combo there. Second base, shortstop eligibility.
yeah.
Um,
No. That makes sense. And then you
and you
got
got Carlos
Rodon,
Rodon.
who's usually a high K guy. Though his Ks have actually been down a little bit this year, but his results have been good, at least in the
Yeah.
ERA department.
Well, and we got to
Um,
consider some of these players are on like just crap teams. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, the White Sox and the Rays. Yeah, so I mean, like wins might be hard to come by and so forth. But Rodon's always had potential. I haven't looked
And
at his profile in a minute, but the last time I did look at it, um, noticing the Ks were down, obviously, but it seemed like he might have been a little fortunate to have his ERA where it's at. But, still, it's like 25, 26 years old, whatever he is. So it's a
yeah,
nice little, okay, maybe he can give me something down the road
well, he's
for,
been like his last, I would say, last 6 or 7 starts here. It looks like all quality starts, which is a stat in our league, right?
yeah, no, he's been good lately for sure.
So, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Like, you can take that to the bank. The big piece, though, I think here to me,
Yeah, the jewel of it, yeah.
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, it's Kyle Tucker. He's what, 21?
Yeah,
Um, number 8, top 10 on pretty much every prospect board you look on
yeah.
or you look at. And he just got called up today again
So
because
that's nice.
because
That
Maruzna got sent down.
yeah.
So that's good timing for Ryan. Every piece he got in return is in the majors again.
Well,
So
except
that's
Butskin. Except
oh,
Butskin.
except Butskin. What is he hurt?
Yeah. Well, no. Buxton's he's just been crap. I
Oh
mean,
no, I don't own his shares. I've never been a Butskin fan. I don't know what to make of him. He still swings and misses at everything. But let's talk about Tucker. I mean, that's to me the crown jewel of this trade for him.
yeah.
Right? He's a guy that's going to contribute across the board, plays in a good hitter's ballpark, in a good lineup. And what pissed me
Amazing.
off,
Not
yeah,
not not even just a good lineup, an amazing lineup.
and what pissed me off is when they called him up. He had 50 plate appearances, and they sent him back down.
Yeah.
And I looked at his numbers. Like, yeah, the results were bad. Like a sub Mendoza average and so forth and so on. But you looked at what he actually had done and like, wow, looks like he was just a little bit unfortunate. Like the hard rate was there, the fly ball rate was there, the plate discipline was fine, like
Yeah.
average K rate, average walk rate. Looked like he just got a little bit unlucky, and God forbid his first 50 plate appearances. So I hope now that he's up this time, they let him play. Just let him play. All right.
Just keep him where he's at. Let him play
Like
left, right, center, wherever.
like the division's wrapped up probably.
Yeah.
So just let him
It's the
fucking
Astros.
play because this guy portends to someone that can give you our league's OBP. So I think he could at his peak offer you like a 360 OBP, 25 plus home runs, 15 to 20 stolen bases, and of course all the runs and RBIs you want in an Astros lineup.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, he has the potential just to be like the piece where you look back on this trade, you're like, wow,
Now,
absolutely, like, wow.
yeah, we talked about this privately. I mean, again, Nate and you and I all talk very frequently. Like we talked about like how we were essentially, bidding against each other.
I mean, Ryan never brought that up to me. I mean, I knew that you guys were talking to him because you guys told me you were, but he never tried to leverage that to me. I was like, here, I'll back the Brinks truck up. Here you go. I'll take Scherzer. There's almost a
Yeah.
part of me that wanted to do it just to take him out of everyone else's hands, just to be a dick.
Well, I mean, but think about this: is a 34, almost 35-year-old Max Scherzer what puts your team, over the top?
I think if you're in like your position, which what are you first in that
Yeah,
league?
I'm in first place in his league. Yeah, so
Even
yeah,
in
for
Nate,
me, yeah,
even in Nate's position in fourth, right? Like
yeah,
maybe that probably makes some sense, right? Get you that push to like, all right, I know I'm in the playoffs. I need this.
yeah. I
I
need
am
me.
currently on the outside looking in by just a few games, but I'm also getting my ass kicked in my current matchup. So it's like, do I really want to mortgage the future, even though prospects are just prospects, as we always like to say?
Yeah, they're just currency.
For a 34-year-old, like, maybe my team could bounce back next year because Scherzer should be good for the next. He should be an ace for the next, I don't know, 2, 3 seasons probably.
At least, at
So it's
least.
not like, regardless of his age, he should still be really good for the next 2 or 3 years. So like, it's not just like a deadline deal and then you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
But for me, outside looking in, I'm like, hey, I just now I might regret that and be like, wow, Trammell turned into nothing. Luzardo's trash. Sheffield never mounted anything, and that's fine. But I
Well,
wound up rescinding, and you didn't give enough to Ryan that at least that he wanted. So Nate Dogg I guess gave him enough. Let's talk about what Nate Dogg got real quick though.
okay. Well, I was gonna say just again,
To me, McCutcheon's dead. Like
yeah, like
that's just dead. Garbage,
Taylor and
trash.
McCutcheon. I'm not like you're not writing
Yeah.
home about that. You're like,
Taylor has kind of legitimized what he did last year. The power's down, but at least he's got the average. He's got the stolen bases. Although he's been caught quite a bit, but he still gives you a little speed. Like, okay, that's fine. Like going forward, you can probably keep him for a couple years. I don't know about McCutcheon though going forward.
no,
Um,
he's old man now. He's old man
yeah,
status,
but
sadly.
Nate's making a push for the title, so you got to give up something to get something. And
Yeah. You gave up a lot. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of like I don't know that I would have given up Tucker, honestly.
yeah, that would have been tough. Like I told Nate in a text, I was like, "There's only a few prospects I wouldn't give up," and I actually didn't mention Tucker because maybe I just forgot about him. But it would have been tough to give up Tucker. Like I definitely wouldn't have done Eloy or Vlad or any of those guys, obviously. But for some
Well,
reason,
yeah, all
in our
right.
conversations, I forgot to mention Tucker. Like that would be that would be tough for me too.
I was gonna
But
say
again,
Ryan was
Scherzer's
telling
only
me.
one of a few aces. Like that's
Yeah. I
very
mean,
genuine ace. So like it's not going to come cheap.
no, it's not. And like, Ryan was telling me he wanted like Lindor, and I'm like, get the fuck out of town. Like,
I mean that's absurd. I mean, that's an
Lindor,
absurd ask.
Arenado.
That's fucking
I mean, if
nuts.
Arenado's shoulder's fucked, maybe I should. But no, I'm not moving Arenado. I'm not
Like, there's
moving.
one thing asking for a top 10 prospect in return. There's quite another to ask for a like 25, 26-year-old MVP candidate. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like,
Well,
that's
and he
fucking
was.
crazy. That's insulting. That's borderline trolling.
Yeah, he was asking for either a decent package of prospects or like major league players.
Or major leaguers, yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like my offer was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. No, my prospect offer was, he liked it. It was great in my opinion, but
Yeah,
I wound up
he said
rescinding it. And I don't know if my prospect offer would have been better than what him and Nate worked out.
no. I
But
think I think he got his best deal through Nate, and like so Nate, you probably gave up more than either of us were willing to do.
yeah, but
But
now he's got Scherzer and he's in the playoffs, and there you go.
yeah, and that's fine, and that's okay. And just for context, like let's remind everybody, we have changed the settings for this league going forward, or these leagues just generally. All of our dynasty leagues are now keep 25.
Yeah.
So
So
we're
it's
gonna
not as
keep more
ridiculous
players next year. So like Ryan's
to take
stash,
on more.
yeah,
Like, if you're the one giving 3 and getting back 4, that's not as hard to do with keeping 25.
no,
And that's why,
and
like, if anybody from those leagues are listening, which maybe you are, maybe you aren't, if your NA slots aren't filled, and I think Tom mentioned this on the last pod or sometime in the past, you
fill
should
them
fill
up.
those slots just in case, because you get 5 more keepers. Like, it would behoove you to go ahead and fill that.
Always fill the slot. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know what I mean? Now, speaking of filling slots, in addition to Ryan's trade, he also, I questioned some of these moves, but well, whatever. He picked up Urias again. He's got his Urias back, which again you can just add him straight to the DL, no big deal. And then he's got Puck too. So AJ Puck coming off of a shoulder surgery, right?
Oh, yeah. If it's Hall of Fame, I dropped him there. I'm not going to keep a
Yeah,
TJ guy, wait for a TJ guy.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of waiting on TJ or shoulder injury guys, but
If the
for
league was
Ryan,
deep enough, sure.
yeah. Well, and again, we're keeping more now, so
Yeah, but if
everybody's
I'm
kind of
talking like
adjusting
deeper
to
than
that.
that, I would.
Yeah, everybody's kind of adjusting to that. Now, so like again, like we mentioned, trade deadline is coming up. It's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it's tomorrow. It's
It's
tomorrow. What, midnight Pacific time, I
yep,
think, technically?
yep, yep. So 3 o'clock in the morning, East Coast.
Yeah, 3 a.m. East Coast.
For most of you, we have a lot of East Coast managers, but midnight our time. Um, and I noticed Nathan's making a lot of prospect moves too.
Yeah, it's Nathan. That's all he does is trade.
Well, well, he's trading and he's picking up and he's dropping, he's adding, he's dropping. Like he dropped. Yeah, he's all over the place. He's just like adding and dropping like crazy, and that's
Yeah.
Nathan. That's okay. Like I've noticed that. Again, Ryan's making a lot of moves. J Money's making a lot of moves in
I'm
terms
always
of like,
making moves.
yeah, just stashing prospects,
Oh, yeah.
stashing
Well, I mean, perfect
younger
example
players.
is your fucking dynasty. I mean, in one day, I picked up 6 top 100 prospects.
Yeah, and that's honestly that's wild to me because I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know. Like I thought those guys were already on most of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some of the names you pick up like in the Mosh.
Yeah, in the MASH,
Brandon Mosh.
Jesus Sanchez, like
Yeah,
Kirilov, top 30 prospects and shit. Like,
yeah.
okay. No, they might not amount to shit, but like, might as well just load up before it's too late.
Well, and it makes sense. I mean, like for instance, like in your league last week, which was your dynasty league FNA. Uh, I'm in Ryan's position essentially, where I'm like outside looking in, and I've got 30-something-year-old players. Cole
Well, in some
Hamels,
cases, 40 something.
yeah, Nelson Cruz, Train and Bra, right? I traded you, Train and Bra.
Yeah.
like training in Oakland. Like I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, like I'm not that far off from competing just because like I lost a lot of pitching this year, but at the same time, it makes sense to in a dynasty, like if you can get something before shit falls apart, you
Yeah, you
get
don't
it.
want to hold to them while they're just headed down the tubes. Like, perfect example, like I have Posey. I know Posey's not hitting for power anymore, but he's still an upgrade over probably one or two playoff teams' current catchers in Hall of Fame, for instance.
Absolutely.
Some guys throwing out Jan Gomes, a playoff team has Jan Gomes. He's throwing
Hey,
out there. So when you can get anything for a guy like that and a veteran that you don't want to have to where he's just values completely gone, you get what you can get. So that's why I put Posey on the block. I'm not going to expect the world, but hey, you're in the playoffs. You want to upgrade at a position? Throw me some prospect in return.
yeah,
Whatever. So
yeah. I mean, I'm not like I might even have to look in on that. Like again, trade deadlines tomorrow. Like let's all go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get
let's
busy.
all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's
Get ourselves a prospect. um, yeah, no, we're hanging out. Oh, Everett's hanging out.
nice.
Everett's saying hi. He's a basketball guy, but
Nice.
I appreciate Everett hanging out and saying hi. And of course, Jose's hanging out. What's up,
Woo, Jose.
Jose?
But yeah, it's much like in real life and fantasy. Like if you have any assets to move at the deadline, this might be the best time to do it because
Yeah,
there might be some contenders with their just mouths drooling that need some piece.
well,
So you might as well make that piece available if you feel like, yeah, it's not my year. Let me see what I can get for this veteran.
yeah,
You know what I
like
mean?
get well,
Like,
getting's good.
yeah, for instance, if nothing happens, I can try and move Posey in the off season or someone in the same ilk as Posey, but it's going to be much more difficult. The demand won't be there, you know?
Yeah,
It'll be December. Whereas, like, hey, trade deadline's tomorrow. Hey, playoff teams, you
people
want a
are like,
catcher? Like, the catching market is still garbage, or whatever the position may be, or whatever the
yeah.
player may be. Same
Well,
deal.
like
Like,
in
hey,
my case, in all three dynasties, I'm rolling out no catchers. Like,
yeah,
well, I
and
am
I
in
got
your league,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Hey, you want Posey? Hey, you
well,
got my
but
number.
Sanchez and Ramos are coming back, so I'll be okay. But again, like my team has the depth to sort of weather that, where I'm literally playing no catcher. But
Yeah, and
with
that's
Trout
okay.
on the DL and Sale on the DL, now
And
I'm like,
Arenado maybe on the DL.
yeah, like, oh. Maybe I got to start shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really sure. I wish I knew how bad the shoulder injury is for Arenado.
I haven't
Like,
read much detail lately. It didn't sound like it was too bad, but with the 10-day, it's so short.
yeah, I
They
mean, if
might
it's only
just
10
do
days,
it.
he's a rest.
Yeah, they might just do it. Be like, all right.
But again, just a reminder for everybody too. We are moving to Fantrax, so like when we move all of our leagues to Fantrax, we'll be just no off season. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
always
and another great reason is, which most of us know at this point, is they have every player under the sun. They probably have some middle schooler that we don't know
yeah.
about.
They've got my kid playing t-ball.
They might. They just might. I mean, perfect
Henry
example
Henry is
is
in the player pool.
in the FNA dynasty, which Jose is in, and obviously we're in. The last pick of that draft was Nolan Gorman
Yeah.
by Woody by Chris, and Yahoo still doesn't have him. It's
Nope.
August.
No, and that was a hell of a pick, by the way. Like, I mean, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, right?
it's
Like,
August, and Yahoo still doesn't have him.
I mean,
So, but we're moving back, and so
yeah,
Woody will get him at that point. But that's just another reason to move back. If you want someone, they're out there.
yeah. You can get deep. We'll get kinky with it when we're on tracks. I mean, and if you're not comfortable with fan tracks yet, just like hit me up or hit up Tim X Fan like underscore X fan. What is it? X fan underscore 12
Something like that. Yeah.
on Twitter. Like, just well, talk to me and I'll talk to him. You know what I mean? Like, we can get you set up. I know the mobile app thing is a big issue for people, but it's really not that big of an issue. Like,
Well, it just the web app, air quotes, does keep getting better, and I think by the time next season rolls around, it won't really be that much of an inconvenience.
yeah, and this again, we're talking baseball. Like, it might be a little bit more uncomfortable for football and basketball because again, we are moving. Like, we're not going to be on Yahoo anymore, and
Yeah,
that's okay.
and no, that is okay. I mean, Chris, the guy we were just talking about, Wood. When I told him, I was like, "Yeah, dude, we're actually moving back to track." So, I already told nobody to touch Nolan Gorman for you. And he
Yeah,
goes, "Oh, we are moving back." He goes, "Sweet." He goes, I've been on Yahoo 15 years. I'm fucking over it."
yeah. I mean, and that's that's one of the things. Let's talk about that for a second. Like Yahoo with the oh, we've got some of this year's
Yeah.
it's like they're
So
trying
shit,
to make up for shit,
I don't know
but
if I said it in
halfway.
the I don't know if I said it in the chat or the last pod, but like I've checked on Nolan Gorman on Yahoo like once a week for like 2 months on Yahoo, where I just type in his name just to see.
Yeah,
And he's not there, but yet you got people like Ryan snatching up Casey Mize.
yeah.
Like,
Casey
how are they
Mize is first
deciding
pick this
which?
year's draft.
Yeah, how are they deciding which 2018 draft picks to put in the player pool? Just like haphazardly? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's classic Yahoo, just like half-assing it. And again, I do like a lot of Yahoo's coverage. Like, if you play fantasy football, which most of us do, like I really like the Yahoo show that they do every Sunday morning. It's actually better than like watching the pregame show for, like CBS or Fox or something like that. But like, they're informative. They'll answer your questions, all that sort of stuff. But where we're at now with all these Fantrax writers and analysts, like
Analyst. Yeah.
analysts, anal rapists,
Anal bum cover.
anal rapists. No, but I mean seriously, like if like when you have that, when you're juiced in like that, the way we are now, and the way everybody that we play with knows who we talk to, like I see JD constantly like tweeting and commenting and talking to all the experts that we work with and play with, like in these industry leagues,
No.
and like when you're kind of juiced in like that, like you're
No, with
getting
the
better.
caliber of managers in the leagues that we're in, like we need to be on fan tracks, right? Like
Yeah,
if I know first round picks and my prospect depth of knowledge isn't huge, I mean JD is like probably 600-700 prospect knowledge deep.
G,
Andrew,
yeah,
Reese, like
yeah,
we need to go to fan tracks. It is a disservice not to. Based
yeah.
Jose,
We know too much. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like everybody knows too much. Colin, he's
yeah,
in.
Colin,
Yeah.
the
I
depth of
mean,
knowledge in regards to prospects in dynasty leagues. We should be on fan tracks. It'd be a crime not to be at this point going forward.
well, I was gonna say if you're just looking at the like MLB pipeline top 100, like you're missing out. Like, and that's like I had a little issue talking to Ryan about the Mad Max trade. Not specifically a beef or anything like that, but we discussed like certain players and prospects. I was like, dude,
Well,
have
the
you
thing
done
is,
your
like the
homework?
prospects you mentioned, which were once unknown to that website, they're
Yeah,
now hanging around the top 50 anyways.
yeah.
Like, look
And
at Paddock.
so,
He's up there now.
yeah, I mean, you got Paddock, you got Alonso, like just a lot of guys. Like there's so it's just one of those things where if you've been around enough of this stuff deeply enough, like now, all right, I'm just gonna say this. JD is if there was ever a like most addicted fantasy sports addict, it's fucking JD.
It's Jay. Well, because he plays all four of the major sports
All four
and not just plays them, but plays like
plays the
20
shit out of
team,
them.
20 team dynasty versions of like hockey.
No,
And,
he's in a
like he
32.
probably know, he
He's in
probably
like
knows the name of some like Swedish goaltender in ninth grade or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like
This
that's that. You know, like
JD,
So
yeah, JD with all the props on that because goddamn, like I mean he's got all that. He's got
speaking of
all.
prospects, before I have to head out because I got to head out in like a minute here.
Okay.
Um, just saw another notification. Vladito hit another home run tonight. He's hitting over 400 across 4 levels this season. Fuck the Blue Jays. Fuck the CBA. Fuck all the service time bullshit. It's a fucking crime he's not in the majors.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's a lot of players that you could apply that to, though. I
No,
mean, if
there
you
is,
think
but seriously, like I did not think Vlad would be still in the minors. I know he went on the DL for a minute, but still, it's August what 11th. He's
yeah,
still there. He's hitting over 400 in the minors. Like, what are we doing here, people? What are we doing?
yeah. We've got a couple questions in the chat. Let me just address real quick.
Go,
We've got the Victor Mesa signing. Jose's
Victor.
asking
You mean Victor? Victor?
Victor.
Yeah, that'd be a question that
Um,
I don't have an answer to be honest with you. I know the name.
he will be on Fantrax. I know that.
I'm
Like,
sure. Yeah, I'm fucking sure.
but yeah, like
Was that the Orioles signing? Did Orioles sign him?
that I don't know.
I thought it because I thought it was like Orioles never sign international guys. I thought that was like a standout thing. We're like,
Yeah, I
oh,
kind of.
they signed him.
Was it the Orioles? Okay, I wasn't sure who signed him. I mean, again, I'm like,
No, I'm not 100%. Jose might know better than we do.
Jose probably knows. And then Everett's asking here, do you guys plan to move all the leagues to Fantrax, including basketball? And I said, yeah. Like every league, we're going to Fantrax. It's okay. Like it's gonna be okay. I know people are panicked. Like, oh my god, the web app. Like, no, you're okay. The app is fine. And let me just say this real quick about the Fantrax app. There's no fee having a progressive web app, so you don't have to pay.
No,
Like
they don't
it's
have.
like
Yeah, they don't have to pay all the sponsors that the apps have and
yeah,
shit,
you don't have to
or
have like
Apple for the App Store and all
yeah,
that
you don't have
crap.
to pay Apple and you don't have to pay Google and all that stuff, so it's okay.
Well, I hate to
Um,
cut this conversation off, but I actually got to run duty calls.
okay, James got to go be a dad. I'll finish it up.
All right,
It's
man,
good
but I'll
talking
holler
to you,
at you
Cubby.
later.
You have a
Yeah,
good
man.
evening.
You too. Holler at you later.
And all right, have a good one.
Trade deadline tomorrow. All right.
Great
Do
deadline
what
is
you got to
tomorrow,
do.
everybody.
Stretch run. Three
Yep.
matchups left if you're in head to head. Just three. That's not much, folks.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna
All
be
right.
okay.
I'm
All
out.
right. Good talking to you,
Bye.
buddy.
Yeah, you too, man.
Um, but no, Everett, it's good seeing you hanging out. I'm glad we got Everett and Jose hanging out. So thank you guys for hanging out. What we're gonna talk about, I'm just gonna update real quick, just kind of like what the FSAA leagues are looking like. Like right now, Pete is just destroying Roto. Like, I mean, he's under 20 now, I think, but like, yeah, James is 19 points back, and I'm 20 and a half points back. And I believe who is this? That's Colin. Okay, Weatherwax. He's 20 and a half back. I mean, it's Pete's league, and we're just playing in it. Like, that's all it is. We did kick out Tris. Well, we didn't kick him out. We blocked him. So sorry about that. You're blocked and you're fucked because you suck. But you know that's fine. FSAA baseball head to head. We're looking at again. Well, James is on top, and then we got well, Pete's in there. I mean, it's a mix. It's a mix, but we're all kind of again chasing James in that league. Now you may notice certain managers are always on top of things, and there's a reason for that. It's not a mistake. because especially in baseball, we've used as much analytic data as we can. I don't understand it. I can't do math for shit, but um, for all the winning I do in our home dynasty leagues, the baseball leagues, like League of Evil and Hall of Fame, I'm still chasing J Money. Like I'm winning against James right now. He's rebuilding in my league. Like 10 to 1, it was 11 to 1. But J Money's winning 10 to 2. And I'm 3 games back. I can't catch him. I can't catch him for nothing. Um but this is the time of year that it's time to tighten the screws. Like again, I'm first place in what used to be Ryan's league. I've got a lot of damage in terms of injuries and roster crunch, but but I can kind of pick this up. I got a few options. But this is the time of year where like we have 3 weeks left until playoffs for head-to-head leagues. So you got to tighten the screws. You got to get real serious, and I hope everybody can and does. Um, but yeah, JD, J Money, you guys are just Woot. Even like Woot doesn't listen to the podcast, but like Everett knows how good Woot is. Like fucking Woot is absurd. Um, he's really good. Like Woot, I forget who I was talking to. I think it was I don't know, somebody on Twitter, Toronto basketball fan, and somebody we played in one of these pro leagues with or something like that, and he was just like, "Well, what are you doing head to head?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like the leagues aren't that big. This is basketball we're talking about. And the same thing for the baseball. They're intimate leagues. Like you've got to be in the inner circle to be in these leagues. Like we've talked about expanding them at some point. We may, and we probably will, but uh you don't have to tank. And so Bronny, when Bronson gets out of the tank, if he gets out of the tank, I hope he gets out of the tank because otherwise his team is the most saleable team in the leagues. But like you can make moves just being active on the waiver wire, like okay, so Everett says Everett says he's out of the tank in all the hoops leagues, but other than the newest league or newest team he inherited. But yeah, and again, like you don't have to tank. It's only a 12 team. Now basketball's a little different than baseball. Like, but if you look at a guy like Woot, like everybody who's in our leagues that knows Woot, go look at Woot because what he does is pretty incredible in some ways. Like he's got a down year, but all he is active, 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 active. Not tanking. And even when his team sucks, he's playing like hell for a playoff spot or to like play spoiler. And so that's why I love Woot. But yeah, Bronson just constantly tanking. I mean, I've done it myself. I've changed my ways, but like yes, I am guilty of having been Tommy the Tank, as Ryan used to call me. Uh that was something that I did, like, oh well, I should just totally suck and like not do anything. But now with our like new setup, the way we're going to be on fan tracks and stuff, like these lanes are so luxurious that you can do what you need to do and rebuild a team much quicker than like, well, I'll just be like, all right, I suck this year, I suck next year, I suck the third year. Like, no, 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 no. You don't have to. Just stay active. Like, and I like again, baseball has opened my eyes in a different way to statistics and analysis this past year that we've been doing this. I mean, we literally haven't stopped playing baseball since last year. Um, and again, there's not the same kind of numbers or data so to speak, for like football or, basketball. But I think the same concept applies. Like, as long as you're active and you're making moves and paying attention to like what's good, we've always pushed that angle, but like really take it to the next level. Just tighten the screws. Like, all right, this guy's just like, all right, like, all right, I love so and so. He's got potential. Why are you holding him? He's not doing anything for you. Get something else that is doing something for you. You know. Um, Question from Everett here. Tracks, are we able to make off-season moves? And yes, we are. That's the beauty of fan tracks. Like, fan tracks, like, again, if you've never played fan tracks, uh, there's no off season. I mean, you can literally make, like, as long as I keep the leagues open and everybody keeps the leagues open, like, and that's the other thing. Like, we all know my health conditions, so that's a separate issue. But like, God forbid I fall down dead tomorrow, these leagues are going to survive forever on fan tracks. So just, yeah, you can make moves in the off season. You can like, well, it's December and I'm playing baseball and like the hot stove's going on in real life baseball, but like, what's going on in our leagues? You can absolutely make moves. Um, and that's the beauty of it. Like, I know the app isn't 100% perfect to everyone's taste, but I do know for a fact, because I am one of their beta users. I'm like one of the guys that has like beta access and can like test. Like, Tim tells me to like try to break their app and shit. Like, like, can you mess it up? Um, yeah, you can absolutely just do whatever you want, and the app's going to be better and better and better all the time. And the only difference is it's not in an app store. It's called a progressive web app, and we've talked about it before, but like, don't be afraid of the move when we make the move, because it's not going to hurt you. You're going to be okay, and you're going to have more options. It's better, especially for Dynasty, because we play a lot of Dynasty. And even just like, if you look at what's going on with their like analysts, their anal rapists, like, it's they're pirating people from other sites, like, it's great. Fantrax is absolutely the place to be. And it, like, I look at it like this. I grew up on a lot of punk rock and independent bands and local bands and stuff like that. It's like an indie record label. No, and Everett's worried about the transition. That's all on me or whoever's commissioning. It's not going to be a big deal. All we have to do is just like import the rosters, and they actually have a process for that. And I've talked with them about that. It's really simple. All I have to do is just import the rosters. No big deal. Everybody's going to have their team. Everybody's going to have every player they want. It's just going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Like, if I had my way, we'd be finishing our season on tracks right now for baseball. But football's going to be on tracks. Basketball's going to be on tracks. Next year, baseball, tracks. I mean, we might even do some hockey. I don't know. Like, if we're gonna do some hockey, you know what? Like, I need JD to be like my hockey co-host. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm talking hockey, I need JD, because he's telling me about this like 30 plus team dynasty league where like the players are so deep. Like, it's just, oh man, like, but that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it so good when you're playing a huge dynasty. And ours aren't even huge, but like, there's just more for it. And the other thing is, I get paid features for free just because I ask. And I love that. I love Fantrax. I love Tim. They used to hate me, but that's all over now. Um, and no, it's not gonna fail, Everett. And he trusts me. He says, I trust you, Tom. But no, I like we're gonna be just fine. Um, quick little situation here. Let me just remind everybody, like, again, everybody pay attention because tomorrow is the trade deadline. It's time to make some moves. Roto League's pretty set. We got Pete winning it. Head to head, FSAA is pretty close. The home dynasties, you know, I'm looking good. Jose's asking when we're going to draft football. Football is going to be like, I want to get like, what was it? Geis just got injured out for the year. Like, I want to give it a few, like, I want to push it as close as we can. I know that's not maybe everybody's favorite, but just because of injuries, I'm kind of happy to push that as far as we can. So we'll push it as close to the season as we can. We'll do some mock drafts though, and we can mock draft on Yahoo or wherever. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just mocking a sock, right? But yeah, like, Fantrax is going to be our new home. They love us. They'll take care of us. If I'm dead, any of you can commission the leagues. I trust all of you. It's no big deal. But yeah, like, we're good. We're good. Everything's going to be good. Everything's okay. Let's see. FSAA Dynasty again. It's another close call. Like, we're chasing JD, and we got, you know, a couple people pretty close, like, kind of looking on the outside, looking in. But you know what? Like, these leagues are going to be just fine. Like, I will say this. I just want to remind everybody, the reason why I am doing as well as I am is because I've made adjustments. And I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but I've made adjustments. I'm just sort of riffing here. I'm going as I go, you know? And that's okay. But what I've noticed is what some of our other really good managers have done. It's like, okay, well, they've got this sort of thing going on. Maybe I should do that. And so what I would advise to everybody is, in your competitive leagues, look at what the best teams are doing and try to, like, emulate that. You know? Like, I don't know what your league settings are. I don't know what everybody's league settings are. Ours are all pretty formulate. Like, they're all pretty standard, you know, like, we've got 5x5 for the roto, and we've got a little different setup for the dynasty leagues, but it's not hard to figure it out. And I think as we go and as we've made these changes, people are figuring it out. Like, when we do football, again, we're not doing kickers again. So you don't need a kicker. You don't need to worry about that, because, like, what the fuck is the point of a kicker? I mean, I don't have a problem with a kicker personally, but, you know, just pay attention to again, we've always said, league settings, check your league settings, be active, stay competitive, you know, and then maybe you can be victorious. Anyways, it was a nice little quick podcast here. I'm glad, you know, Everett, thank you for joining us. Jose, thank you for hanging out. Um, we'll be back next week, and I'll probably do some stuff during the week. This is the thing. I've been a little inactive on YouTube because of the weather in Arizona. 120-degree days basically kill me with horrible air quality. Like, I don't do very well in that with my health conditions. So, you know, it's not exactly what I prefer, but now that the weather's starting to break a little bit, I think things are going to start picking up again. We got football. And I mean, we're not like, people are already doing mock basketball, like, little, like, what's your rankings, you know, like, so we're going to get into all this. Like, it's coming. It's going to be fine. The fall's going to be great. And I feel sad. Like, when I see these beer commercials and these, like, Lowe's commercials where people are like, "Oh, it's the summer. Oh, we're just enjoying the summer, baby." I'm like, what the fuck planet are you on? Well, I live in Arizona and it's Phoenix, so it's a little different situation. But it's coming back. We're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. Fantrax is going to be great. We're going to love it. And yeah, these leagues, Everett said, take care of myself. Got to keep running these. Even if I'm not running them, they're still going to be here. Somebody's going to run them because these leagues are so good. Like, we really have good leagues, and I love that. So I really do appreciate all of our managers, you know? But anyways, I'll wind it down. I'll quit yakking. Let's do the fantasy sports serenity prayer. Fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineups, courage to add drop aggressively, and the wisdom, as always. Because tomorrow's the fucking baseball trade deadline to make good fucking trades. Amen. All right, website still needs a little help. Fantasy Sports Addicts. Well, it's fantasysportsaddicts.com, yeah. And I'm on Twitter at letter F, letter S, word double, letter A, FSAA. Hit me up anytime if you got questions or comments or anything like that. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment if you got anything else. And thank you, Everett. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And good luck in the playoffs. Happy hunting. All right. Later, baby.